God, today I don't come with many words, because I don't even know how to fully explain what I'm feeling. I just know there is a kind of emptiness inside me that I can seem to fill. No matter how much I keep moving forward, no matter how strong I try to be, no matter how much I try to do the right thing, there is something within me that still feels incomplete. Your word says in Psalm 42:11, "Why, my soul, are you downcast? Why so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God." And today I understand those words in a deeper way. Because there are days when I keep going, I keep showing up, I keep doing what I need to do. But inside, I feel quiet, distant, almost disconnected, like something is missing and I can't fully explain it. And I know this emptiness is not random, because in Ecclesiastes 3:11 you placed eternity in the human heart, which means nothing in this world can fully satisfy what was designed to be filled by you alone. So if you feel this too, if something inside you feels off, quiet, or empty in a way you can't explain, stay here for a moment and pray this with me. God, as I come before you in this moment, I bring something that I have not fully been able to put into words, not because it is hidden from you, but because I'm still trying to understand it myself. This quiet emptiness that sits within me, even when everything around me appears to be in place, even when I am doing what I am supposed to do, even when I am moving forward, there is still something that feels incomplete, something that does not settle, something that reminds me that what I am experiencing cannot be resolved by external things alone. Your word in Psalm 107:9 says that you satisfy the longing soul and fill the hungry soul with good things. And I recognize that what I am feeling is not simply tiredness or distraction, but a deeper kind of hunger, a longing that cannot be ignored, a space within me that was never meant to be filled by achievements, by routine, or by anything temporary, but by you. There have been moments where I tried to move past this feeling by staying busy, by focusing on responsibilities, by telling myself that it would pass if I just kept going. But I see now that ignoring it has not brought peace. It has only made me feel more distant, more disconnected, and more aware that something within me is not aligned the way it should be. Your word in John 15:5 reminds me that apart from you, I can do nothing. And I understand that this does not only mean action or productivity. It means that even my sense of peace, my clarity, and my inner stability are not sustained by my own effort, but by remaining connected to you. And when that connection is not prioritized, something within me begins to feel empty, not because you are absent, but because I am not fully abiding. I also think about what is written in Psalm 63:1, where it says, "My soul thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you, in a dry and weary land where there is no water." And I recognize that this describes exactly what I have been feeling, a dryness that is not physical but internal, a kind of thirst that cannot be satisfied by anything around me, because it was never meant to be. There is a difference between functioning and being filled, and I see now that I have been functioning, I have been moving, I have been continuing forward, but I have not been filled in the way my soul needs. And that is why this feeling has remained, not as a problem to solve, but as a signal that something deeper needs attention. Your word in Matthew 5:6 says that those who hunger and thirst for righteousness will be filled, and I take that as a promise, not based on what I feel right now, but based on who you are, that this emptiness is not permanent, that this dryness is not the final state, and that what I am experiencing is not a sign of distance from you, but an invitation to return more deeply. I bring this before you without trying to hide it, without trying to resolve it on my own, and without pretending that everything is fine, because I know that you already see it, you already understand it, and you are not asking me to fix it before I come to you. You are asking me to come as I am, with everything that I am feeling. There have been moments where I questioned why this feeling is here, whether I am doing something wrong, whether I am missing something, or whether something has changed within me. But your word in Hebrews 4:13 reminds me that nothing in all creation is hidden from your sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before you, and that gives me peace, because it means I do not need to fully understand it in order to bring it to you. I also understand that this emptiness is not something I need to fear, because it is not meant to push me away from you. It is meant to draw me closer, to realign my focus, to remind me that my soul was never designed to be sustained by temporary things, but by a relationship with you that goes deeper than routine or habit. So instead of resisting this feeling, instead of trying to fill it with distractions, or trying to move past it quickly, I choose to sit in this moment with you, to acknowledge what I feel without allowing it to define me, and to trust that you are able to meet me here, not when everything is resolved, but right now in the middle of it. And as I stay here, I begin to release the pressure of trying to fix everything internally. I release the expectation that I should always feel strong, always feel connected, and always feel certain. Because I understand that even in this moment where things feel unclear, you are still present, still attentive, and still able to restore what feels empty within me. Lord, as I stay in this place with you, I begin to understand that what I have been feeling is not something I need to escape, but something I need to bring fully into your presence without holding anything back. Because this emptiness is not just a passing emotion, it is revealing something deeper about where I have been placing my focus, where I have been drawing my strength from, and how easily I can continue moving forward on the outside while something inside of me slowly begins to run empty. Your word in Jeremiah 2:13 speaks about people who have forsaken the fountain of living water and have tried to dig their own cisterns that cannot hold water, and I recognize myself in that. In the ways I have tried to sustain myself through effort, through routine, through staying busy, through doing what I know is right, but still feeling like something is missing, because none of those things were ever meant to replace what only comes from you. There are moments when I try to ignore this feeling by telling myself that it will pass, that it is just a phase, that I just need to keep going. But I see now that continuing without being filled only deepens the sense of disconnection, because my soul was not created to operate on emptiness. It was created to be sustained by your presence, by your truth, and by the life that comes from being close to you. Your word in John 7:37 says that whoever is thirsty should come to you and drink, and that whoever believes in you, rivers of living water will flow from within them. And I hold on to that because it reminds me that what I need is not something I have to create or force. It is something I receive, something that comes from you, something that flows from a place of connection rather than effort. I also recognize how easily I can look outward for something to shift, for circumstances to change, for something external to give me a sense of renewal. But I understand now that what I am asking for cannot be found outside. It has to be restored within, because even if everything around me changed, it would not resolve what is happening inside unless I allow you to fill that space again. Your word in Psalm 23:3 says that you restore my soul, and I take that personally in this moment, because I realize that restoration is not something I achieve. It is something you do, and it requires me to come to you honestly, without pretending that I am fine, without covering what I feel, and without trying to fix it before bringing it to you. There have been times where I have felt distant, not because you moved, but because I allowed distractions, responsibilities, and even my own thoughts to take more space than they should. And slowly that connection became quieter, not absent, but less present in the way I experienced it. And I see now that this emptiness is calling me back. Not in condemnation, but in invitation. I don't want to continue moving through my days feeling disconnected while trying to appear steady on the outside. I don't want to ignore what my soul is telling me. And I don't want to fill this space with temporary things that will never truly satisfy what I am feeling. Because I understand now that what I need is not more effort. It is more of you. So I come to you without trying to manage this feeling, without trying to control it, and without trying to resolve it on my own. And I ask you to fill what feels empty, not partially, not temporarily, but completely, in a way that brings clarity, steadiness, and a renewed sense of connection that does not depend on circumstances. I also ask you to realign my focus, to bring my attention back to what matters, to quiet the noise that has taken up space within me, and to restore that inner awareness of your presence that brings peace even when everything else feels uncertain. Because I know that when I am centered in you, I am not defined by what I feel. I am grounded in who you are. And as I remain here, I choose not to rush this moment. I choose not to move past it quickly, and I choose not to treat it as something to fix, but as something to bring into your hands, trusting that you are able to restore, to renew, and to fill what I cannot restore on my own, and that what I receive from you will not fade, will not run dry, and will not leave me in the same place I came from. Father, as I remain here in your presence, I begin to understand that what I felt when I started this moment does not have to define how I continue through this day, because what once felt empty is now being touched by something deeper than my own understanding, something that does not come from what I see around me, but from what you are doing within me. And I recognize that this is not something I could have created on my own. It is something I receive when I stop trying to carry myself and allow you to sustain me. Your word in Psalm 34:18 says that you are close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. And I realize that this closeness is not based on how strong I appear or how well I hold everything together. It is found in honesty, in bringing what I truly feel before you without trying to hide it or fix it first. And I see now that in moments where I feel empty, you are not distant. You are near in a way that I may not have recognized before. I also hold on to what is written in Isaiah 41:10. where you say not to fear because you are with me, not to be dismayed because you are my God, that you will strengthen me and help me, that you will uphold me with your righteous right hand. And I receive that not as a distant promise, but as something present, something active, a something that is already taking place even in this moment where I'm learning to rest instead of striving. There is a quiet shift happening within me, not loud, not forced, but steady, where I'm no longer trying to escape what I feel, but allowing you to meet me in it. And I recognize that this is where true restoration begins. Not when everything changes around me, but when something is restored inside of me that changes how I experience everything around me. Your word in 2 Corinthians 12:9 reminds me that your grace is sufficient for me, that your power is made perfect in weakness, and I begin to understand that this emptiness I felt was not a sign of failure, but a place where I could finally stop relying on myself and begin to rely on you in a deeper way, not out of obligation, but out of need, out of truth, and out of recognition that I cannot sustain myself without you. I release the expectation that I should always feel full, always feel strong, always feel certain, because I understand now that there are moments that expose what I cannot carry alone, and those moments are not meant to break me. They are meant to bring me back to you, to realign my dependence, and to remind me where my true source is found. Your word in John 6:35 says that you are the bread of life, that whoever comes to you will never go hungry, and whoever believes in you will never be thirsty. And I take that into my spirit right now, not as something symbolic, but as something real, something that fills what I could not fill, something that restores what I could not restore, and something that sustains me beyond what I could ever sustain on my own. As I move forward from this moment, I do not carry the same sense of emptiness that I came in with, not because everything is suddenly different, but because I am no longer trying to fill myself with things that were never meant to satisfy me. I am choosing to remain connected to you, to return to you, and to draw from you in a way that keeps me grounded, steady and aligned even when my emotions fluctuate. I also choose not to go back to the same patterns, not to ignore what I feel, not to distract myself from it, and not to try to replace it with temporary solutions, because I understand now that what I need is not found in what I can create. It is found in what I receive from you, and I trust that what you give is not temporary. It is sustaining, it is real, and it remains. And even if there are moments later in this day where I feel that quiet emptiness trying to return, I will not respond with confusion, I will not respond with fear, and I will not try to fill it with something else. I will return to you, I will remain in you, and I will trust that you are continually filling what I cannot fill, restoring what I cannot restore, and sustaining me in a way that does not depend on what I feel, but on who you are, and I rest in the certainty that you are present, that you are working, and that you are enough for everything I carry. Amen.